After a weekend of feasting, it's only appropriate that we got one more helping. It's the regional semifinal edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight. I'm Greg Tupper. That is Ashley Pickle. We are here with you for the next 90 minutes or so. It's the internet. You can't kick us off. You're not my mom. Bringing you
Unless
highlights.
you are.
Bringing you highlights, scores, analysis, updated brackets from across the Texas high school football landscape. And it was the best week of the year. It's Thanksgiving.
Hands down.
Not an opinion.
Not up for debate.
A fact. And this weekend certainly was in line with the excellence that this week demands.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Thanksgiving demands it to be the best week of the year, and it always is. I think the thing that makes, regardless of what happens on the field, I think the thing that makes the regional semifinal probably my favorite round of the Texas high school football playoffs is because there's games happening at all hours of the day. We don't get Thursday night action. That's fine. Spend it with your family. Enjoy the best day of the year. But Friday and Saturday, we get to sit there and there's matinee football all day, every day.
Yeah,
that rocks.
Yeah, I've made the point that it's the closest we ever get to like a college football Saturday
Yes.
in Texas high school football. Because college football Saturday is used to. You wake up, you go from 11 a.m. Central all the way up till if there's Hawaii kicking off at 11 o'clock at night. This is as close as we get, and it was a great third round of the Texas high school football playoffs. We've got highlights and updated brackets for you across the state of Texas. We start in Class 6A, Division 1 to Region 1 we go. Let's go to Abilene, where Allen was taking on Odessa Permian, and it was all Eagles in this one. Already up 28-0 with Jeremiah Dowd. Finds Josiah Johnson for a 17-yard touchdown. Take a bow, young man. It's 35-0 Allen at the break. Second half, and it's a lot of the same. This time on the ground, Lyndon Spriggs will break a tackle, cut through other defenders, go 54 yards to the house. He had a game-high 134 yards and 3 touchdowns. It is all Allen in this one. Then Permian would get on board when Caden Taylor is going to take the handoff here, go up the middle, find a seam, in for a 28-yard touchdown. Mojo would close the gap a little bit, but way too much from Allen in this one. This time, they got the backups in. Backup quarterback Ty Snell is going to find the aforementioned Josiah Johnson in for another score, his second of the game. Allen rolls into the regional final, 56-13 winners over Odessa Permian out there at Shotwell Stadium in Abilene. Let's take a look at the way Region 1 shakes out. Allen through the regional final, where they will take on the North Crowley Panthers, the defending state champs, who were winners today over Coppell, knocking off the Coppell Cowboys in impressive fashion. The defending state champs still got the crown, still the team to beat, but they will have their hands full next week against unbeaten Allen.
How about we head now to 6A Division 1 Region 2, where this is one where you get a cross-regional matchup. It's Houston versus DFW, as Cy Ranch was taking on Waxahachie. We start off here in the second quarter, all tied up at 7. Waxahachie, it's going to be Nolan Bernard here in the shotgun. And look at this, it's a big man touchdown, but big ol' 86, Brayden Quails, he is a wide receiver and goes ahead and gets it done there. To the third quarter we go. Waxahachie again. This time it's Jerry Meyer III who will throw an absolute missile right here down the field and find senior wide receiver Cohen Brown on the 59-yard passing touchdown to put the Indians up 21-7. Third quarter, Cy Ranch trying to narrow the gap as they will hand it off to Peyton Thomas, who will bust through that Waxahachie defensive line and will not let anyone catch him. 51 yards to the score, and watch this guy. Helmet might be off, but he is pumped. The flex there from Cy Ranch. Waxahachie would go on to win it 38-31 in overtime, and they will find the Panthers of Duncanville. They're in a regional semifinal and a District 11 6A district rematch. Incredibly excited to see that one.
Remember, it was Waxahachie who upset Duncanville earlier this year, which really put them onto the map. That is Region 2. Over to Region 3 we go. This is the Houston area, where Houston's Drake Jesuit taking on Dickinson. Let's go to the highlights of the Region 3 action, 6A Division 1. Let's go to LaPorte, which is where this is happening. Dixon lands the first punch. Lorenzo Aguirre escapes pressure, fires downfield. We'll find Caleb Peterson, who will handle it and truck a defender into the end zone. It's a 35-yard hookup. The Gators are up early. Then John Snelson's going to go into the bag of tricks. Watch this. It's the handoff, the reverse, and who else? Caleb Peterson again He'll coast in for a 15-yard score. Dickinson is up 14-0, and Dickinson would pour it on. Waning moments of the first half. Aguirre going to take the snap, looking, firing. Jamarian Payne across the middle. 24-yard touchdown. Dickinson's up 49-0 at halftime. Strake Jesuit would make it a little bit more palatable. This is Jake Wegleitner is going to roll to his right, find Cannon Bureau for the short touchdown pass. But this was all Dickinson. The Gators chomp Strake Jesuit 55-16. Let's take a look at who they will face. It's Dickinson and Galena Park North Shore, who took down Cy Falls in impressive fashion on Friday. This is the game we've been waiting for quite some time. Two teams that will go at it that are absolutely at the top of their game. The team of record in Region 3, North Shore, up against the team that wants to dethrone them, the Dickinson Gators.
We head now to 6A Division 1 Region 4, where it was a battle of the 2-1-0. Cibolo Steel taking on San Antonio Johnson. We start off in the second quarter. We're scoreless with 7:27. And it is junior quarterback Elvis Estrada under pressure on 3rd and 25. He's going to run to the right, heave it up, and find Braylon Allen there from 58 yards to give us the first score of the game. Second quarter now, it will be Steel right before the half. They would look to answer on just 4th and inches. And Liam Jones says, why get one when you can get 44 yards? And he takes this one in to tie us up at 7 heading into the half. We're going to skip all the way now to the fourth quarter. And it's San Antonio Johnson back on offense. Estrada in the shotgun looking downfield, and he drops one off there to Aaron Crawford Webb in traffic on the jumping catch from 25 yards out. Staying in the fourth quarter, it is Johnson again. 1:30 to go in the game. Johnson down 5. Estrada back in the shotgun, and he will drop this one right in the breadbasket to Bryson Thompson in the corner of the end zone, and Johnson would go on to win it in an absolute thriller, 29-28, taking down a powerhouse in Cibolo Steel. Who will they be going up against? Well, it's a team we're all too used to seeing there in the regional finals in Region 4. Lake Travis had no problem getting past Laredo United 41-7. But congratulations to Coach T.P. Miller and his Johnson Jaguars, as they've got a big matchup against what seemingly is Big Brother there in Region 4.
Well, and Austin has had San Antonio's number in Region 4. We will find out next week as you zoom out to the Elite 8 here at 6A Division 1, the overall bracket. You'll see the final 8 teams that we've got left, and each of the 4 regional finals figure to be a lot of fun. And look, it's large bills only here. I mean, this is brand name football here in 6A Division 1. Each of these has a chance. Each of them has a storyline unto themselves, and that's going to make 6A Division 1, per usual, very exciting.
It absolutely is, and I think that especially some district rematches there, your eyes definitely go to that Duncanville-Waxahachie game for me. That's the one I'm excited to see.
It will be a ton of fun. That is the largest classification in Texas high school football, 6A Division 1, reaching the Elite 8 of the Texas high school football playoffs. We are just hitting our stride here on Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight, the regional semifinal edition. After the break, 6A Division 2 and some heart-stopping affairs that got us to our Elite 8 in that bracket, if you stay with us.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antonio. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
Whatever it is you wrangle, whatever seeds you sow, no matter what you nurture or what you choose to grow, at Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, we're proud to protect all Texans.
Bro, these Katie's are fire. Bro, you work here?
Whatever, kid. Take notes. Yo, I can go all pro in these.
I can guard you and route you up.
You sure about that?
Not anymore.
Fellas looking for a quarterback?
The goal!
Billy needs cleats. You're right, Billy. These do bring out my eyes.
Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
Dick's is the GOAT.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, and Baylor Scott & White Health.
Hello, it's Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight, the regional semifinal edition and the final edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight. So one of the things that we battled across the state of Texas on Friday was weather. I have been well documented in my battle against weather. I think weather is a scourge on America. We have the technology, we have the resources to destroy the sun. Name one good thing the sun's ever done for us. Hashtag war on weather. All that's to say, big weather delay pushed back the kickoff of South Lake Carroll versus Prosper all the way to 11:15 p.m. in Arlington. Once they did kick off, let's find out what happened in these highlights together. 11:15 p.m. is when this game kicked off, and the number one team in the state sure felt fine. Angelo Renda finds Brody Knowles for a 36-yard touchdown. The Dragons are up early, but Prosper had plenty of stomach for the fight. Bryce Robinson looks like he's stacked up here, breaks free for a 20-yard touchdown. It's 21-17. Now it's 42-24 in the third. Braden Imhoff will dump it off to Robinson again. He will do the rest. 16-yard score. It's 43-21, but Prosper, 31 rather, but Prosper had no answer for the Carroll offense. Davis Penn takes this one 31 yards to the house. A game that ended at 1:33 a.m. with Carroll coming out on top with a 49-31 win. They will see the Denton Geyer Wildcats, who took down Byron Nelson on a last-second field goal, 24-21, in an absolute thriller. It is Carroll, it is Geyer, it is a regional final. You will want to be there.
To 6A Division II Region 2, another cross-regional matchup between DFW and Houston. It was DeSoto out of 11-6A taking on the Woodlands College Park. We start off here in the first quarter, and Claude Mathis and his DeSoto Eagles looking to strike first, and it didn't take long when who else other than superstar running back Rod Baker takes the handoff, looks up like he was in trouble back there, but he never is truly in trouble, and he gets in for the 68-yard score. Second quarter, College Park looking to answer. He's going to fake the handoff and hit Brian Snodgrass in the middle of the field there. College Park back on offense, and oh my goodness, Duke Stevens literally goes untouched, runs off all that Thanksgiving turkey, and takes this one in from 78 yards out to make it a one-score game. We skipped out of the fourth quarter, where DeSoto would seal the deal on this handoff. It's Ethan Booby Feaster doing what he does best, running very fast and being excited. 68 yards on the score. DeSoto does go on to win it 56-34. They will be pairing off against Willis, who just had an absolute thriller this evening against Forney.
38-32 is your final in a game where Jermaine Bishop went absolutely nuts. But I will tell you right now, I don't know if there's a team in America playing as well as DeSoto right now. They have been absolutely fantastic. That'll be a fun matchup next week, DeSoto and Willis in a regional final. Over to Region 3, the Houston area, where it was a matchup of two teams that are no stranger to the big stage. Humble Summer Creek, a team that has made the state semifinal a year ago, state title game the year before that, taking on the Katy Tigers. In this game was must-see TV. Let's go to the highlights. True home game for Katy at Legacy Stadium, and they were comfortable early. Tremaine Hill, a burst. It's a 72-yard touchdown run for the Tigers. They laid a huge haymaker early. They are up 7-0. It's 14-0 before Summer Creek comes alive. Noah Spinks lofting over the middle. Jamaica Jones hauls it in traffic for an 18-yard touchdown. It's 14-7. After another Katy scores 21-7. Katy kicking off, and Benny Easter is blasting off. It's a 74-yard kickoff return for a touchdown for the Texas Tech commit, and we are tied at 21 at the break. Okay, let's go to the fourth quarter. It's 31-all. Katy with the ball, and who runs play action better than Katy? Mason Hartwell, a beautiful fake, wide open is Drake Hopkins. It's a 52-yard touchdown, and Katy's got the lead, but the PAT was no good. Remember that. 26 seconds. Facing 4th and 9 for the 25. Spinks buys time, fires. Braylon Causey, touchdown Summer Creek. The Bulldogs stun Katy in a thriller. 38-37 in a game that had to be seen to be believed. We go to the Region 3 bracket, where they will find a familiar foe, the Sheldon CE King Panthers. Remember, they played a barn burner in District 23 6A play. They are back together again in what figures to be a fantastic matchup.
We head now to 6A Division II Region 4. This one, a battle of Central Texas, as the Vandergrift Vipers, looking to head back to AT&T Stadium, are taking on the San Marcos Rattlers. We start off here in the second quarter when senior quarterback Miles Teodecki would show off that cannon of an arm, hitting Brock Chilton for the 57-yard score to put the Vipers up 14-0. It would take until the fourth quarter for San Marcos to get on the board, but how about that? Elliot Gray hauling one in for 42 yards out. Staying in the fourth quarter, Vandergrift would continue to improve as Joey Fennell takes this one to the end zone from 20 yards out. Vandy goes on to win it 24-7. They will have a date with a district foe in Dripping Springs, who had no problem against Medina Valley, winning that one 45-14. This one is always a thriller.
So let me tell you something, because it's an easy mistake to make. They are not in the same district.
Oh, that's right. They play each other.
They play in non-district
every single year.
So this is a rematch, but it's a non-district rematch of a game that they played back in week 1 in August.
Yep.
And now they're going to play in December. Remember that game, Dripping Springs won 41-14. We'll see what happens this time. We'll take a look at the overall bracket. Here's the Elite Eight. And you've got a rematch of District game in Summer Creek City King. You've got a rematch of a non-district game in Vandergrift Dripping Springs. You've got a rematch of last year's regional semifinal between DeSoto and Willis. And then you've got Denton Geyer and South Lake Carroll, which I think is a rematch of a regional final from last year.
I was just going to say, if you're going to look at this, honestly, they're both rematches, yes, from last year. This has got to be the chalkiest bracket since, but that doesn't mean that these games aren't any less exciting. We had a lot of these circled and penciled in for this round. That just means that the fireworks are happening here in 6A Division II. All right, that is going to do it for 6A Division II, the two largest classifications there in Texas high school football. Coming up, we head to 5A Division I and all of the rest of the fun that the Texas high school football playoffs has to offer. We'll see you after the break.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football Fueling the Future Award, presented by Dutch Bros, honors exceptional teachers across Texas who go above and beyond to energize and inspire their students every day. These educators exemplify passion, dedication, and a commitment to shaping the leaders of tomorrow. Each month, one deserving teacher is recognized with a commemorative award and a $500 donation courtesy of Dutch Bros to support their academic department and further their impactful work in the classroom. To nominate your teacher, visit texasfootball.com/fuelingthefuture.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antone. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
Uh-oh. You good?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Well, if your back hurts, you should be able to get the care you need. So you can get in, get out, and get back out there. Like, fast.
Well, that is kind of my thing.
It's not complicated. Scheduling's easy on the MyBSW Health app.
We welcome you back into the Saturday night party here on Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight, breaking down all of the brackets after the regional semifinal round. Who now is heading to the regional finals in 5A Division I Region 1? Let's go to the highlights. We start off with Denton Ryan in a district rematch against Richland. Ryan in the red zone. Hennigan would hand off to Trayvon Reynolds, who will put the Raiders on the board first, running that one in. A second quarter, Richland. We're going to celebrate first. Oh, look at that little dance. That's fun. In the second, Richland looking to cut the deficit when junior running back Jay Sean Gibson would find the angle and squeak this one past the pylon to make the score 20-10. To the third quarter we go, and it's Ryan again. Quinn Hennigan. He's going to drop back and let this one go, finding Connolly Cunningham in the middle of the field, who would take it in from 36 yards out to make it 28-10. Later in the third, why not just do that all over again? Hennigan takes the ball. Guess where he's going? Can you guess? Cunningham in the end zone. And the Denton Ryan Raiders have no problem getting past the 3-5A Division I rematch against Richland. They go on to win it 41-10. Who will they face? How about another rematch, if you will, against district foe Aledo? They take down Arlington Heights 55-0. And Ryan versus Aledo in original semifinals. Water's still wet.
Well, yeah, and this is, if you remember, this is exactly how it played out last year, where Aledo beat Denton Ryan in district play, and then Ryan beat them in the regional final. Can they pull off the trick again? We will find out this week. Aledo and Ryan going at it. Let's go to Region 2, where it was Highland Park taking on Frisco Wakeland. Wakeland's been a team that's given Highland Park some fits. Let's go to the highlights and find out what happened in this one. After a scoreless first quarter, the Scots would get into gear, already leading 7-0 with Buck Randall. Going to find Jack Swaldy here. He's going to make a man miss. Watch him keep his knee above the turf just barely, and he will get in for a 22-yard score. Highland Park is up 14-0. We are skipped to Malou into the end zone. Now, late second quarter, and here was the key sequence. Highland Park gets a safety, and here's the free kick. Watch this razzle-dazzle here, okay? Going to hand off here, and who ends up with it but Cannon Bozeman, who will sail into the end zone for a 73-yard kickoff return touchdown. Highland Park led 24-0 at the half. Now into the third, Wakeland would finally find a response. Jaden Maples going to fire left, find Grayson Myers, who beats one-on-one coverage. It's a 20-yard touchdown. Wolverines have some life. But Highland Park would snuff that out in a hurry. Randall would find Harrison Cullum for this beautiful 64-yard post route. It's a Highland Park back into a regional final with a 47-20 win over Wakeland. Let's take a look at who they will face. It is the Frisco Lone Star Rangers, who had limited trouble with West Mesquite, 47-20, a really impressive victory for them in a game that they led comfortably throughout the entirety of it. Lone Star Highland Park, a rematch of last year's regional final. It figures to be fantastic, especially with all of the playmakers that Lone Star has.
All right, we head now to 5A Division I Region 3. It was Port Arthur Memorial taking on the Cougars of College Station. We start off in the first quarter. Port Arthur Memorial looking to take the lead when this handoff from Alex Eugene would be exactly what they needed. 75 yards to the house, leaving nothing but Cougars in the dust to put the Titans up early. We're going to skip to the third quarter now, where we're all tied up at 10. When Port Arthur Memorial, Amonte Martin would show off the arm strength to Kavion Roberts from 47 yards out. The Titans take the 17-10 lead. Later in the third, CSTAT looking to answer, and it will be Keaton Johnson hits Zach Crosser, who turns around and runs directly into the end zone on a 59-yard touchdown. We're all knotted up at 17 to the fourth quarter. Port Arthur would take a much bigger lead here, but the Cougars refusing to give up when again, run it back, Johnson to Crosser, but it wouldn't be enough. The absolute wagon of Port Arthur Memorial continues on as they win 45-24 over the College Station Cougars. And how about that? The miracle run there from Pflugerville Weiss ends up falling at the hands of Barbers Hill, and it'll be the Eagles taking on Port Arthur Memorial in the regional finals.
District 9 5A Division I rematch. Remember, back in Week 7, Port Arthur Memorial won this game 34-6 at Barbers Hill. How much has changed in about 2 months? About 2 months to the day that they will play them once again. That's Region 3. Down to Region 4, where it was Smithson Valley, the defending 5A Division I state champs, taking on a district foe in San Antonio Piper. They beat them in the regular season. Can they beat them when it counts? Smithson Valley's running game got going early. Sophomore running back Gunnar Shoquist barrels his way in for the short touchdown. The Rangers are up 13-0. Now 16-0 into the third quarter. Here they come. And then it's Shoquist again, this time off the left side, powering his way in for the score. 23-0 Rangers, right? Ball game. So why are there more plays on this highlight sheet? Piper would come to life. Junior quarterback Chase Lyons is going to take the snap, drop back, and fire this dime to Cash Lancaster. What a grab. His 21st receiving touchdown of the year. 2-pointers no good. It's 23-6. After a defensive stop, Piper is threatening again. This time, Lyons going to take the snap, play action. What a grab here by Carson Lacombe. Look at that, the fingertips. He's just a sophomore. It's 23-12. They would go for two. The direct snap goes to Tyler Lacombe. It's the jump pass to Brady Hopper. And suddenly it's 23-14. But late in the fourth, Renix Vizuraga is going to take it off right tackle for the dagger. Smith Valley back into the regional final. They beat San Antonio Piper 30-14. They will see the New Braunfels Unicorns, who are through to these regional final after their very impressive victory this past week over the team that I had right here. They beat Bernie Champion 41-31, the Unicorns of New Braunfels in there. This is a rematch of a district game as well that Smithson Valley won. So a rematch in Region 4 as well. Let's zoom out and take a look at the Elite 8. What do you see, Ashley Pickle?
Well, I think all eyes specifically go maybe Region 1 and Region 3 just because these are both district rematches. I mean, we've seen how this has happened. A lot of times it's the people that win in the regular season that might not be able to get it done, but I am incredibly excited for that Lone Star Highland Park game. We were talking about it last night. Lone Star has a legitimately incredible chance to win state. Now, getting through Highland Park is difficult, but they have looked incredible under Jeff Rayburn this year.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 regional finals are going to be rematches from district games. It's hard to beat a good team twice. We will test that 3 times in 5A Division 1.
How about we head now to 5A Division 2? We start off in Region 1, and it was the Eagles of Argyle taking on Prosper Walnut Grove. We start off in the first quarter, and it's late in the first quarter, already 10-7, but Walnut Grove gives the ball to Cam Newton, who will take the rock in from 44 yards out to give the Wildcats the 14-10 lead. Second quarter, Argyle, it's McGuire Gasperson. He finds Julian Caldwell in traffic, who shakes the defender and takes it in for the 44-yard score. Walnut Grove would score again right before the half, but Gasperson looks to connect with Logan Rexroyd wide open in the corner of the end zone. Eagles up to 3 at half. Early in the third, Todd Rogers goes into his bag of tricks. How about that? The reverse flea flicker, and it's Gasperson who goes deep into Brayton Brock for the score. Third quarter, Walnut Grove still trying to pull it, but not able to get it done. The Eagles of Argyle will advance to the Region 1 regional finals after a 59-42 win. You look on the top of that bracket, they'll be taking on the Cardinals of Melissa, who defeated district foe Anna 49-7.
Yeah.
49-7.
Yeah, that was wildly impressive. Melissa's playing exceptional ball right now, but they will need to be playing exceptional ball to take down Argyle, who's looked every bit the part of a state title contender. Speaking of every bit the part of state title contender, South Oak Cliff was in action this week against Terrell, an undefeated Terrell team looking to take down the team that has made 4 consecutive state championship games in South Oak Cliff. South Oak Cliff's up 7-0, but unbeaten Terrell would have an answer. Nolan Hall was going to find Elijah Weber on the wheel route, and it's a 33-yard touchdown. We're 9 up at 7. It was 24-10 Sauk at the half, and that's when the running game got going. Mikhail Trotter breaking free. It's a 75-yard touchdown. South Oak Cliff is up 31-10. Terrell would hit right back. This is Roderick Hambrick Jr. He says, you're going to go 75 yards? I'll go 78 yards. All the way to the house. Terrell will not go away. But South Oak Cliff's rushing attack was relentless. Lavon Morton runs for a 34-yard score. It's part of a 498-yard rushing performance from the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. They're back into the regional final, 45-17 over Terrell. Where will you look at that? They will take on a team they are all too familiar with.
I was going to say, have these two ever played before?
The Port Neches Groves Indians. They'll play each other for a 4th consecutive year, twice in a state championship game, now twice in regional play. Port Neches Groves survived a big-time scare from Midlothian Heritage, but they are through to the regional final.
That was a joke, by the way. Before I get yelled at in the comments, I know that they've played before.
Yeah, I know.
I've watched them. All right, we head to 5A Division 2, Region 3. This one, a Brazos Valley versus Houston matchup. Brenham and Iowa Colony, and it's Carson White who would get us going, connecting with Jaden Warren, 19 yards for Iowa Colony. Brenham looking for their first score, and it'll be a 10-yard pass from Upshaw to Cartel Brown. We're tied up at 7. Third quarter, Brenham. Handoff to Glover, and it's a flea flicker. Upshaw finds Brown again, this time from 32 yards out on the trick play. Later in the third, Upshaw scrambling, looking downfield, He drops an absolute dime to Cartel Brown. From 78 yards out, he takes the lead 27-24. Fourth quarter, Iowa Colony looking to answer, and it's the quarterback keeper from Carson White that would do it. And Iowa Colony would go on to win 31-30, and would you look at that? You want to talk about rematches? How about this district rematch? How about this regional final from last year rematch? Richmond Randall versus Iowa Colony. It's what we've all been hoping for. Richmond Randall has an absolute romping 83-20 over Bastrop in absolutely emphatic fashion. If I had to choose one game that I think was the most surprising, not that they won, but 83-20 in a regional semifinal?
83 points is a 5A record in a regional semifinal. That is absolutely remarkable. They have been terrific. Lana Williams-Callis, who did leave the previous game with injury, did play and certainly looked the part. Iowa Colony is undefeated the last 2 years, with the exception of when they've played Randall, where they are 0-3. Down to Region 4. And in Region 4, we had a game we were highly anticipating between the Bernie Greyhounds and the Gregory Portland Wildcats. Let's go to the action down there at Comalander Stadium for a Friday matinee, and Bernie was ready to go from the word go. Grant Sweeney going to fire to Zachary Frazier, one of his favorite targets. He'll make a couple guys miss and go in for the opening score. And then Sweeney again. This time he's going to loft it to Brock Heierholzer. He's going to Greyhound strike. They're fired up. Bernie goes on to romp Gregory Portland 31-7. Who will they face in the regional final? It is the Alamo Heights Mules, another district rematch. They take down Victoria West for the second time this year, 41-18. So it is Bernie and Alamo Heights in a rematch. Let's go zoom out to the bracket. And what again? You've got rematches galore in the sense that you've got two actual district rematches in Richmond, Randall, and Iowa Colony, and Bernie and Alamo Heights. And then you've got teams that are very familiar with each other, Melissa Argyle and South Oak Cliff P&G.
Yeah, I think to the casual fan, Sauk and P&G is where everybody's eyes are going. Obviously, these two teams have met up in the state championship for so many years, and now they're hitting it off again in the regional finals. But my eyes, Richmond, Randall, and Iowa Colony, I cannot wait for that matchup.
Iowa Colony's been close. Can they get over the hump and dethrone the state champs? We'll find out next week. On to Class 4A, but that is after we pay some bills. Please purchase products from these fine vendors. They help support this show.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Texas Army National Guard are honored to present the Coach of the Week Award, celebrating one head coach in 7 different classifications. That's 6A all the way down to 6-man, and of course, private school every single week. Think your head coach deserves some recognition? Nominate them under our weekly Twitter and Facebook post. Those will come out Friday at 10:30 p.m., Saturday 8:30 p.m., and Sunday at 6:30 p.m. That's facebook.com/Dave Campbell's or at DCTF on Twitter. Thank you to Texas Army National Guard for helping spotlight the hard work and dedication of high school head coaches across Texas.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football is proud to partner with Sport Tyler to award the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose National Player of the Week, which recognizes the top offensive player in Division I college football, who also exhibits the enduring characteristics that define Earl Campbell: integrity, performance, teamwork, sportsmanship, drive, community, and tenacity. It all leads up to the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award, announced in January. Congratulations to this week's winner of the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose National Player of the Week. For more information, visit earlcampbellaward.com.
Everybody referred to him as Dan the Man when he was here as our high school principal. So he was one of the best principals that you could ever work for. The staff loved him, the kids loved him. He was a guy that any kid in the building could approach and come to a problem with, and he would help those kids out.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antonio. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
It's Dave Campbell's Texas Football tonight. I'm Greg. That's Ashley. These are highlights from across the state of Texas in the regional semifinals, including Class 4A, 4A Division 1, where the Stephenville Yellow Jackets, undefeated on the year, took on the upstart Seminole Indians. Let's go to the highlights. And this one in Snyder, Stephenville came out hot. Trot Jordan's going to run play action. Fire a strike to the freshman, Caden Monk, at 21-yard touchdown. Yellow Jackets up early. Then Jordan pressured, rolls, finds Monk again. His second touchdown, 21-yard touchdown in the first quarter. It's 14-0. Late window dressing here for Randall. Phoenix Sherwood is going to air it out deep to Case and Benton for a 75-yard touchdown. But this was all Stephenville. Yellow Jackets romp into the regional final with a 51-6 win over Canyon Randall. Let's see, they will take on the Canyon West Plains Wolves, who took down not only district rival, but school district rival Canyon, 35-3. This is the Region 1 game we've been waiting for, though. West Plains and Stephenville.
Absolutely. This is the one that we were all almost hoping for from a matchup perspective, if you will. But both of those teams looking quite scary. So excited to see that one. We head now to 4A Division 1 Region 2, where the Alvarado Indians would meet up with the Porcupines of Springtown. We start off in the first quarter in Alvarado with junior quarterback KJ Jenkins hitting airmail with an envelope addressed to DeMarcus Belton from 51 yards out. Then Springtown looking to answer. It would be Kane Hill threading the needle to Carson Ferguson on the jumping grab. Skipping to the fourth, Jenkins hands off to DeMarcus Belton, and the senior running back would do what he does best, slithering his way up the sideline, 29 yards. Alvarado would go on to win it 64-13. And their payment for that is that they have to go up against the reigning 4A Division 1 state champs in the Salina Bobcats, who blew past Decatur 33-7. What a great reward.
Yeah, but now I will say there's a caveat here, because Bo Bentley, the star quarterback for Salina, left that game with Decatur at halftime. So we do not know his status. We don't know what that's going to look like. Alvarado could score. I'll tell you what, and if Salina's not up to full speed offensively, that could be a real problem. Keep an eye on that one. The status of Bo Bentley is obviously huge heading into the regional final. Over to Region 3, where upstart Fort Bend Crawford was taking on Longview Pine Tree, another upstart, this one from East Texas. Let's go to the highlights in Groesbeck at Goat Stadium. And Crawford's offense was the story here. Quarterback Braylon Fisher, patient in the pocket, fires over the middle to Amir Johnson in traffic. Touchdown Chargers. Pine Tree would have an answer. Watch this zone read, quick hitter, Colton Croft to a streaking Boston Johnson. 68 yards later, it's 24-10. But that's as close as they would get, because Fisher would rocket this one to Justin Butler for the touchdown. Fort Bend Crawford into their first ever regional final, 48-10 over Longview Pine Tree. They will take on the Ragin' Red of Kilgore, who dispatched with Bridge City 34-0. This is going to be a fantastic matchup here. Kilgore has looked every bit the part of a state championship contender, taking on a team that might be among the more talented teams in all of 4A there in Fort Bend Crawford.
We head now to 4A Division 1 Region 4, and it's the Bay City Blackcats taking on the Wolves of San Antonio Davenport. We start off here in the second quarter. Davenport looking to extend their lead when running back Barrett Fallon would take that one in from 4 yards out to extend the lead 21-0. On the ensuing drive, the junior quarterback Kamarian Wiggins would let it fly to Isaac Stinson up the field, who hauls it in for 56 yards out to the third quarter. Davenport sophomore Zayden Garza with the handoff, and it's good up the gut from 5 yards out. San Antonio Davenport. The Wolves would go on to win it 34-19. They now have a date in the regional finals with Lavernia, who took down Corpus Christi Cal Allen 31-13. And I'll tell you, with that Lavernia game, it was very, very, very close the entire time. And then in that second half, Lavernia just turned it on. They remembered who they are, and this is sure to be an incredible matchup between these two teams.
Yeah, I remember Lavernia was a team that won the region a year ago. When you zoom out to the Region 4, or the 4A Division 1 overall, you've got a lot of games that we've kind of been waiting for, right? Lavernia, San Antonio, Davenport has looked like the two best teams in Region 4. We've kind of been waiting to see who comes out of that top half of that bracket, which is the dirty side of the bracket in Region 2, to take take on Salina. It ends up being Alvarado. West Plains Stephenville, a game that we've been waiting for all year long. And then Fort Bend Crawford, a team that you may not be necessarily familiar with because they are so new. That is a team to keep an eye on. I think that Region 4, or rather 4A Division 1, is going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of a lot of fun, we've had a lot of fun on the Bill Ford Tough Player of the Week show all season long. You can go to FordPlayerOfTheWeek.com to relive all of the magic and all of the winners from this year. All 11 weeks of the winners. You can find out who took home the Bill Ford Tough Player of the Week award at FordPlayerOfTheWeek.com. It all leads up to the Player of the Year banquet coming up in January. More details to come on that. We're rolling here on Dave Campbell's Texas Football tonight over to 4A Division 2, where in Region 1, it was Brock taking on Seminole at beautiful San Angelo Stadium, where this one game would get out of hand in a hurry. Briar McDonald's going to take the handoff and go up the middle for a 41-yard touchdown. He would run for 174 yards and 4 touchdowns. Brock was up early. Then they would not look back. This time through the air, Holt Frazier is going to fire to Colt Matlock for the touchdown. He would have 3 touchdown catches. It is all Brock in this one, and that's in all 3 phases. Seminole punting, and watch Cole Fuller. First of all, the over-the-shoulder grab. Then he's going to take it 62 yards for the score. Brock flies into the regional final, 66-3 over Seminole. All Eagles in this one, where they will see another unbeaten, the Greenwood Rangers, who took down this week. They were big winners this week over Graham, 36-21. Impressive from Greenwood, still undefeated on the year. That's a matchup of unbeatens there. Greenwood taking on Brock.
You've been on the Greenwood Hive since day one. I'll give you that one. All right, we head now to 4A Division 2 Region 2 in a highly anticipated Beast Texas matchup between Carthage and Pleasant Grove. We start off in the first quarter. Right before the end of it, Jet Surratt pitches it back to KJ Edwards, who will sneak into the corner with a 3-yard rushing touchdown to put the Bulldogs up 7-3. They're going to celebrate, and then in the second quarter, Pleasant Grove looking to respond, and it's junior quarterback Colt Yancey who will keep it itself explode through the defense and grab the 34-yard rushing touchdown. Pleasant Grove leads 10-7. Skipping the third, PG driving. When the snap is high, it's a race to the ball. No one can get their hands on it until Ethan Proudly gets it, and it is a defensive score for Carthage. Carthage then is going to let their guy do his thing. KJ Edwards was an absolute monster in this game as Carthage goes on to take Pleasant Grove down 34-20 in emphatic fashion there at the Star. All right, then we look here, and Carthage will be taking on Athens, who was able to take down Sunnyvale 37-36 in a thriller, and that is your Region 2 regional final matchup.
And that is a district rematch as well. Remember, this was an Athens team that gave Scott Surratt's Bulldogs all sorts of trouble in the regional, or rather in district play. 61-56 was the final in that one. Carthage got the win. I know they are anxious to get another shot. Let's go over to Region 3, where West Orange Stark was taking on Sealy, and 2 of the most decorated programs in Southeast Texas going at it. Let's check out the highlights in this one. We're picking up in the third quarter. West Orange Stark's up 14-7 until Kane Kilo is going to dump it off to Elijah Sanders. He will power his way in for the score. We're knotted up at 14. That's our score heading into the fourth quarter, when quarterback Quaylen Dugas here for West Orange Stark going to take a look before taking it himself, surging into the end zone. West Orange Stark back in front, 21-14. Now 21-all when Kane Kilo is going to call his own number, find his way into the end zone. That puts Sealy up 28-21. Late in the fourth quarter, West Orange Shark won't go away. Dugas evading pressure finds Braden Gibson for the game-tying score. We're heading to overtime in the extra frame. After the Dugas scramble brought him to the 1, they direct snap it to Kelvy Jefferson for the go-ahead score. West Orange Shark defense makes the stop, pushes them into the regional final. 35-28 is your final over Sealy in an absolute thriller in overtime. Let's take a look at who they will face. It is the Waco La Vega Pirates. So the pedigree train keeps on rolling here. It's West Orange Shark taking on Waco La Vega. This will be a ton of fun in this one because I think La Vega, this also a rematch, by the way, of a non-district game. They played Nacogdoches back in week 3, and Waco La Vega came away with a 44-20 victory. How much has changed back since September 12th?
We round it all out now with 4A Division 2 Region 4, where Rockport Fulton was taking on the Gobblers of Cuero. We start off in the first quarter here, and it is Cuero looking to add to their 7-0 lead when sophomore running back Jordan Jones would take this one in with ease for the Gobblers. Still in the first quarter, Rockport Fulton looking for an answer. He's going going to fake out the cameraman here, and it's senior tailback Luke Brown with the score. First quarter, Rockport Fulton. Senior fullback Terry Alvarado with 56 yards. If you like tailbacks, welcome to Rockport Fulton country, baby. We're all tied up at 21 in the fourth quarter. Who other than sophomore running back Jordan Jones? An absolute menace, finding the end zone again as the Cuero Gobblers go on to win it 48-27. They will be going up against Sinton. Michael Troutman and his Pirates squad get past what seemingly had always been the Region 4 winner in the Wimberley Texans as they win 35-26. And you want to talk about some hard-hitting football, Cuero and Sinton.
So this is absolutely wild, okay? So because Cuero avenges a regular season loss to Rockport Fulton. Remember, they lost that game 57-56. The next week, after they played Rockport, lost to Rockport Fulton, they went and beat Sinton 56-55.
In the game of the year, probably.
Well, now they go and they beat Rockport Fulton, and now they got to go play Sinton again. They play Rockport Fulton and Sinton back-to-back weeks, twice in the same season. Texas high school football is fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, Cuero and Sinton, and I promise there will be fireworks. If we can go out to the region, the overall 4A Division II bracket, that is one thing that I think when you take a look at the 4A Division II bracket, what I'm most looking forward to are rematches. Sinton and Cuero is going to be a rematch, and then obviously Carthage and Athens. Those were two very tight games in district play. I want to see how they play out the second time around. That's what's going to be a lot of fun.
I always like looking at the clashes in style because when you get to Brock and Midland Greenwood, pointsy. You get to Cuero Sinton, pointsy, but in a totally different way, and those just make those state semifinal games the following week so much fun. So there you go, 4A Division II. All right, we're going to take a break here, but coming up after the break, it is Class 3A D1 and 3A D2. You're not going to want to miss it. Stay here with us on Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Higginbotham have teamed up to find the most driven team in Texas. This fall, 10 finalists will be highlighted throughout the season, with one student athlete from each team receiving the Most Driven Scholar Athlete Award for their leadership in the classroom, along with $1,000 in tuition assistance. In November, all 10 communities will rally to vote on TexasFootball.com, competing for the title of the most driven team in Texas. The school that rallies the most online votes will receive a $10,000 donation to their school, thanks to the support of Higginbotham. To learn more, visit TexasFootball.com/mostdriventeam.
Uh-oh. You good?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Well, if your back hurts, you should be able to get the care you need. So you can get in, get out, and get back out there. Like, fast.
Well, that is kind of my thing.
It's not complicated. Scheduling's easy on the MyBSW Health app.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antonio. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
It's Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight, the regional semifinal edition. I sure do love those goods and services that were advertised there in the break.
Me
We're
too.
into 3A Division I, where two teams that wanted to get back at one another again met up. Paradise taking on Jim Ned in Region 1 action. Let's go to the highlights at Hugh Sandifer Stadium in Abilene, where Jim Ned would land the first punch. Cole Chittum will maneuver in for the first score, and the Indians are on top early. But Paradise's defense would stiffen, and the offense would get into gear. Aiden Ololde is going to find Logan Lampley here. He'll chug his way into the end zone. It's 20-7. Paradise, and then Ololde again into the bucket to Kason Myers. Paradise knocks out Jim Ned for the second consecutive season. 27-7 is your final. They will draw a team they're all too familiar with, the Peaster Greyhounds. back into a region final. Another rematch here in a District 4 3A Division 1 rematch. Remember, these are teams that saw each other way back in week 8 when Paradise came away with a 21-15 win. I imagine we're going to see a similarly exciting ball game.
We head now to 3A Division 1 Region 2. It's Grandview and Commerce, and I'm just going to let y'all in on a little secret here. Hold on to your butts. Okay, because this one's wild. Let's head to the highlights. We're tied up at 7 late in the first, and Commerce Aiden Brown looking downfield, and it's picked off! Senior tight end Aiden Hill will take it back 51 yards on the interception for the defensive Zebra score to the second quarter. Commerce from the 11, Aiden Brown fakes the handoff, takes it to give the Tigers the lead 21-14. To the third quarter, we're tied up at 28. Brown under pressure, but jukes out of it and finds Malik Garcia, who will rumble and tumble his way into the end zone. Tigers up 35-28. 8 seconds in the fourth quarter, and the Zebras respond with the tush push that ties it back up with at 35. Commerce back on offense, and they ain't scared. Brown, he hits Wyatt Marker along the sideline, taking it 71 yards. Commerce back up 42-25. Grandview would score again to take it up, or tie it up at 42, and now with 56 seconds left, Mason Landers on the quarterback keeper from 6 yards out, and the Zebras pull off the stunner 49-48. They will head to the regional finals in Region 2, where they will take on the Pottsboro Cardinals. No offense to Pottsboro, but Tepper took Pottsboro. I took Whitney. Pottsboro won 37-33.
Some people are afraid to be the best.
To Region 3.
Not me, and not the Pottsboro Cardinals.
Region 3.
Pottsboro next week is going to be a really fun game, by the way. Columbus and Franklin, maybe the 3A Division 1 game of the year. Number 1 versus number 2 in the postseason and preseason rankings. Number 1 versus number 2 in the postseason rankings. Let's go to the highlights here. There, and Columbus already up 21-7 at the half. They would pour it on. Brennan Hicks going to take the direct snap and get in for the score. Columbus extends its lead. Franklin would have an answer. The slot T is the devil, and Bubba Jackson gets the toss to the left, and he gets in for the score. But too much from Columbus, and it's Jack Schobel. That's right, they got another Schobel at quarterback, taking it himself. The defending state champs show why they're the champs. They win the showdown with Franklin 34-21. Their reward is a rematch with district rival Yoakum, who knocks off previously unbeaten Hardin in impressive fashion. I've been so impressed with what Yoakum's been able to put together. This is a dangerous, dangerous ball club. They're not scared of Columbus. This is a 28-10 ball game back in Week 8. I imagine it's going to be similarly exciting.
We head now to 3A Division 1 Region 4, where it's a team in the Edna Cowboys who are used to being in this round, and a team in Ingram Moore who have had a historic season to get to this point. Let's see how this one shakes out. We start off in the first quarter. It's Edna in the red zone as junior running back Maverick Robinson would take the handoff, find a seam, and bulldoze his way in for a 7-yard touchdown. Warriors knocking on the door. Junior quarterback Logan Spalding floats it up for junior J.J. Stewart, who hauls it in. Then on this one, Warriors looking to get the lead, and it's Will Sims who will fight his way into the end zone. Cowboys looking to even it back up. This time it's senior quarterback Trevor Floyd who will go into the end zone now in double overtime. And Edna kicks with Jamie Gayton Hernandez, who puts it through and takes this one home 17-14. As they will face off against a little old team named the Llano Fightin' Yellow Jackets, who had a big 31-7 win over Goliad in a Region 4 regional finals that we are all too used to seeing.
First time they've ever met, Llano and Edna. Actually, hold on, I'm checking my sources. It seems like they meet every time. This has been, I will just say, Edna has had Llano's number.
Absolutely.
That's not necessarily an opinion. Just take a look at it. But Llano's looking very good. Can they find a way past their bugaboo? Let's zoom out to the overall 3 Division 1 bracket. You got a rematch in Region 1. Pottsboro and Grandview figures to be a really fun matchup there in Region 2. I'm excited to see what those two teams do whenever they lock horns. And then you've got a rematch in Region 3 with Yoakum and Columbus. And then Llano and Edna, two teams that know each other extremely well. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. By the way, that's going to be I think that Pottsboro Grandview game, I think, Region 2 has always been really unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see how that all plays out. Okay, let's now go to 3A Division 2. Let's take a look at how Region 1 played out here. There were two regional semifinals we were very excited about. Idalou takes down Canadian to end the Wildcats season. Very impressive there. It was 21-17. Idalou squeaks by. Wall, no problems with Slayton, 56-7. So it will be Wall and Idalou in the regional final there in Region 1. Can anybody slow down Wall? That is the real question.
All right, we head to 3 Division 2, Region 2, as Blue Ridge, the Tigers, were taking on the other set of Tigers in Leonard. We're going to go ahead and start off the highlights here in the third quarter. Leonard looking to take the lead with his 3-yard quarterback keeper from Jacoby LeCook. Tigers in blue up 15-14. Third quarter, Blue Ridge looking to answer, and he will hit Kalen Cates in the middle of the field. He only has one defender to beat, and it was no problem. He turned on the Jets. Now the other set of Tigers up 21-15. Fourth quarter, and it's Jacoby LeCook on another quarterback keeper from 5 yards out. Leonard would go on to win it 34-28, and they have little-known team in the Gunner Tigers. Another matchup of Tigers, if you will. That's kind of crazy.
Another district rematch.
Yeah, Gunner wins a 41-6 rout over Henrietta. And look, it looks like it's Leonard's chance to upset Big Brother in this one.
They'll have their chance. They'll get another crack at Gunner, who's been the dominant team there in Region 2. Over to Region 3, where one of the games we were most looking forward to in Region 3 came to fruition this week. Newton taking on Troop. Let's go to the highlights in Crockett. Beautiful Bulldog Stadium, and this beautiful play design for Deldrick Samuel. He'll follow his blockers and go 50 yards to the house. Newton takes an early lead on Troop, 7-0. He will not be caught behind. They race out to a 24-0 lead before Troop gathers himself. Josh Childress going to find D. Holly for this beautiful touchdown grab. Diving catch, his first of 2 scores, but way too much from Newton in this one. The toss to Dalen Alfred, part of a 385-yard rushing night for the Eagles. Newton wins this one going away, 46-13. They will draw the ARP Tigers, who knock out Edgewood in a game that lasted forever because of like a 3.5-hour rain delay.
Lightning, it was insane.
Yeah, but ARP outlasts them in a game that alum DeMarvian Overshone was at. Agent Zero watched his ARP Tigers move on to the regional final, where they will take on the Newton Eagles.
Shout out to ARP. All right, we go now to 3A Division 2, Region 4, where the Brahmas of East Bernard were taking on the Eagles of Lexington. Let's get started here in the second quarter. 2 minutes left when Lexington looking to cut the 20-0 deficit when Tripp Kellingberger hits Brock Herring from 30 yards out for the Eagles' first score of the night. East Bernard would have an answer. It's Case Evans. He's going to sail this one, and it's Lincoln Bryant on the 41-yard score. Brahmas up by 20. In the fourth, Lexington would add one more score from Kellingberger to senior wide receiver Weston Bayer from 39 yards out, but it wouldn't be enough. East Bernard would continue to pile it on. This one, Dominic Munoz getting his third score of the night, and the Brahmas of East Bernard going on to win that one 45-21. They have a date with David Lucio and Tidehaven as they beat Blanco 31-3.
Yeah, this is a fascinating matchup because East Bernard has gotten hot at the exact right time. Remember, this is a team that needed a come-from-behind, basically razzle-dazzle kickoff return to win last week. They find a way to beat Poth. Now they drum Lexington impressively, and their reward is they get a rematch of their regular season finale when they went to Tidehaven, and quite frankly, they got spanked. Yes. 59-6 was the final in that one. Can they make up a 53-point deficit in a month? We will find out. Let's go to the 3A Division 2 bracket and take a look at the way things break out. Wall and Idalou up there in Region 1. Leonard and Gunner in a district rematch there. ARP and Newton there in Region 3. And then it will be the Tidehaven Tigers taking on East Bernard in Region 4. Exciting stuff there.
Absolutely will be. All right, that is 3A Division 2. We've got a break coming up, but after the break, we dive in to the highly anticipated 2A action. Ashley Pickle, Greg Tepper will be right back with you after the break.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antonio. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best
Campbell's Texan Live's Athlete of the Month, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, shines a spotlight on one outstanding female and one exceptional male athlete each month who exemplify excellence on and off the field. This prestigious recognition celebrates student athletes who demonstrate remarkable athletic performance, unwavering dedication to their teams, and a commitment to their communities. To nominate your student athlete, scan the QR code on screen or visit texasfootball.com/athlete of the month. With support from Dick's Sporting Goods, we are proud to honor these young leaders who inspire their peers and represent the best of Texas high school sports.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, and Baylor Scott & White Health.
We welcome you back into Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight, where the Texas high school football playoff action just keeps going. It's the regional semifinal rounds, and we have now reached the 2A Division I bracket. We start off in Region 1, where we go way out west. The New Home Leopards taking on the Comanches of Stinnett, West Texas. We start off in the first quarter. New Home looking to get on the board first when Brayson Beck takes the snap, scrambles. He's looking and he finds Alvin Madrid in the end zone. Leopards up 7-0. West Texas looking to answer when its senior quarterback Cade Winters would keep it himself, go up the gut for 7 yards to tie it up at 7. Second quarter now, West Texas again. Cade Winters again, this time from 3 yards out. Comanches up 18-7. New Home looking to find the end zone, hands it off to Ryder Starkey, and the deficit is cut down to 4 points. After this one, West Texas up 18-13. As they celebrate. West Texas wouldn't let that last long when Cade Winters taking it in from the edge, 5 yards out. That's New Home, rather, and his third rushing touchdown of the night. Stinnett, West Texas would go on to win it 26-19. They have a regional final matchup with the Big Damn Lobos out of Cisco as they beat Spearman 28-20. This one expected to be quite the West Texas rematch.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Cisco has been fantastic. You know, they're of course the District 4 champions. They get a shot at the team that has, I think, really upended the things in Region 1 there in Stinnett, West Texas. Big believer in what they've got cooking. I want to see if they can finish this out. Okay, over to Region 2, which has always been our most favorite region because it's so wild. Hamilton, the reigning regional champion, taking on Price Carlisle. Let's go to the action. It's in beautiful Corsicana, America, where Carlisle would strike first. Yvonne Garza cashes in from short yardage, and the Indians lead the defending regional champions. That wouldn't last long. Carson Roberts swings it out to Halston Hale, and he will do the rest, making everyone miss en route to a 47-yard touchdown to knot this bad boy up at 7. Then late in the first half, Roberts is going to roll to his right, looking, firing a dart to Devin Eanes, who hauls it in for a touchdown, put the Bulldogs on front, and then they get the ground game going. Hale up the middle, 19-yard touchdown to extend the lead. Then into the final frame, Roberts puts a bow on it himself, taking it in for the keeper. Hamilton back into the regional final, 29-7 winners over Price Carlisle. They will take on the Axtell Longhorns, who up in Dilion, 27-18. That Axtell defense is something serious. They will get their opportunity to win the region against the team that won the region a year ago. That is the game we've been most looking forward to there in Region 2.
To Region 3 in 2A Division 1 we go, and it is Joaquin taking on Carter Yates's Elijah Fields Yellow Jackets. We start off here in the first quarter. Joaquin would look to get on the board first with this quick punch in from Cooper Bragg from 7 yards out. They would go for 2 and get it, so we're 8-0. In the first quarter, Elijah Fields high snap to Nunu Kennedy, but he finds it and connects with big man Corey Hardman to put 7 on the boards for the Yellow Jackets. Still in the first, Rams looking to punch this one in from 5 yards out, and it's none other than Cooper Bragg, who will ram it in for his second touchdown of the night. Joaquin up 32-7 when Nunu Smith would do a full body rotation and heave this one down the field to find the big man along the far sideline. The slot T is the devil, and Joaquin is going to show you why right here. Cooper Bragg does what he does best, quickly diving in and punching one in from 4 yards out. To the third quarter, Joaquin continuing to put on the pressure, 49 yards, and it's Deegan Lee who will find the hole and bust up the middle to pay dirt. Then finally, the Yellow Jackets wouldn't give up. It's Nunu Kennedy would tack on another score late in the fourth, but it wouldn't be enough as the Joaquin Rams would win that one in emphatic fashion, 74-49. 21. They now have a date with San Augustine, who took down Beckville 43-33.
Joaquin can't keep getting away with this.
It's in 74 points in a regional semifinal.
Remember,
is wild.
Remember, last year they were a fourth-place team that made it to the state semifinals, right? This year they're a third-place team, and they're into the regional final again, okay? They ran for 592 yards against San Augustine. Do you know how many passes they attempted? 0.
Against Elijah Phils.
Joaquin they can't keep getting away with it. Like, playoff Joaquin is a real deal. It's a real thing. Down to Region 4. We're one of the most anticipated games of the year going on this week, and Refugio taking on Ganado, two teams with a history. Let's go down to the highlights. Ganado has knocked out Refugio in the playoffs the last 2 years, but Refugio will get their revenge today. It's Ray Lewis escaping pressure, keeps sides downfield, fires Mikhail Brown for a 45-yard touchdown, and the Bobcats would strike first. Ganado would have a quick answer. They get the bunch end around here to Luke Burris, his 14th rushing touchdown of the year. Ganado would lead 13-12 at the break, but the kickoff of the second half would turn the tide. Ray Lewis, yes, the quarterback Ray Lewis, he's going to take it back, a kickoff return for a touchdown, and Refugio would not trail again. After a Ray Lewis touchdown run, they go for 2, and Lewis is looking, keeping it alive, finding Nehemiah Cavazos for the two-pointer. Refugio gets its revenge on the defending state champs, Ganado, 40-13. The first defending state champ to go down in the playoffs this year are the Ganado Indians. Mason through to take on Region 4 stalwart Refugio take on Region 4 stalwart Mason, who took down, who are into the regional final once again after their impressive win, 41-37 over Kennedy. So let's zoom out to Region 2A Division 1 and take a look at what you see here.
Oh, Hamilton-Axtell, it has to be one of the top games. I know that you look at Cisco and West Texas, you're seeing a lot of points scored. You're seeing Joaquin and San Augustine. Can Joaquin continue to do it? Mason Refugio, a hard-hitting ball. Hamilton and Axtell is so stinking fun.
It is really fun. And this is the time where I think you can look at this bracket and look at that left side. Either the West Texas Comanches, the Cisco Lobos, the Hamilton Bulldogs, or the Axtell Longhorns will be at Arlington.
Yeah.
They will be playing on Wednesday night. One of those 4 teams will be in Arlington. Start wrapping your mind around that, folks. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So that's 2A Division 1. How about we head over to 2A Division 2 and take a look at the smallest 11-man classification. We start off in Region 1. It was the Stratford Elks taking on another team that just keeps getting away with it. The Bovina Mustangs. Let's see how this one shakes out. First quarter, Stratford on the 46-yard line would hand it off to Hunter Lee, who would outrun the Bovina defenders and take it in 66 yards to the house. The 2-point conversion on this one would be good. Elks up 8-0. Later in the first, Stratford again, junior quarterback Chase Latimer. He hits tight end Hudson Holland up the middle, who will turn on the Jets and take this one in from 46 yards out. 2-point conversion on this one, no good. Elks up 20-0. Then in the second quarter, Stratford continuing to pile it on when Darius Jones would make his way into the end zone. Bovina looking to get their first points of the night, hands it off to Angel Lara, who does the trick from 9 yards out. Staying in the third, Stratford trying to keep the highlight factory going, and the handoff to none other than Darius Jones. He gets the job done this time from 39 yards out. Bovina would add on another window dressing here at the end to end, unfortunately, their magical run to the playoffs as a 4th seed who played in the regional semifinals. Stratford goes on to win that one 48-14. They have a date with Groover, who beat Ropes 23-13.
I think that's a small upset. You know, Groover has been fantastic, but I think that Ropes has been a team that we've obviously had our eye on. But Groover gets the win in a low-scoring slugfest. That Groover and Stratford game is going to be a lot of fun. Another District 1 rematch there. This is a game that these two teams played a while back. They will get another shot at one another there in Region 1. Let's go over to Region 2 and take a look at the way that Region 2 broke down there. The Lindsay Knights upend Collinsville in impressive fashion. They win that game by the final score of
29-23.
29-23. They will draw Munster, who knocked off Albany 28-7 in impressive fashion. And so we've got Kraut Bowl 2.0. That's right, for a spot in the state semifinals. It's the Kraut Bowl again. These two long-standing rivals will go at it there. Lindsay taking on Munster again. Okay, on to Region 3, where the Mount Enterprise Wildcats are on the verge of history, specifically with their superstar running back, Kagan Ash. They took on Overton this week. Let's take a look at the highlights here. Here come those Overton Mustangs, and here come the Mount Enterprise Wildcats. And things are going to start early. The first drive of the game, Texas Tech commit Kagan Ash gets the Wildcats on the board here to make it 6-0. Later in the quarter, after a touchdown by quarterback Joshua Bennett, Ash again takes it around the right side, powers his way into the end zone. 2-point conversion will put the Wildcats up 14-0. Ash is not done. He takes it to the left side, this time for his third rushing touchdown of the quarter. Wildcats are up 22-0. But here come the Mustangs. Quarterback Rylan Hulliman is going to hit Yvonne Ransom here for the touchdown. 22-6 at that point. But the first play for Mount Enterprise after that touchdown pass, and it's Ash again. 50 yards for the score. Wildcats are up 30-6. Then Joshua Bennett's going to get in on the action here for Mount Enterprise. He's going to take it on the zone read keeper. Up 36-6. It's all Wildcats. Overton continues to fight. Holloman looking, throwing to Jacob Osborne, who comes down with it for a touchdown. It's 36-12 at that point. But too much from Mount Enterprise. Bennett scores again to make it 44-12. Wildcats, Mustangs get one more before the half. Holloman and Osborne connect, but it's way too much. It's 44-18 at the break. Mount Enterprise goes on to win at 74-46, putting Kagan Ash within range of both the all-time single-season rushing record and the all-time career rushing record. More on that on Monday's Texas Football Today.
He actually broke a record, too. With that game, he had 420 yards, 6 touchdowns, but he broke the record for points in a season. He has scored the most points in a season set there by Mount Enterprise.
Well, they will get a date with Bremond, who knock off Mart for the second consecutive time. Remember, they played in district play, but Bremond takes down Mart. That will be a fantastic match because that Bremond defense is something fierce.
Finally, we round it all out with 2A Division II Region 4, where the Granger Lions were taking on the Eagles of Junction. We see how this one shapes out. We start off in the fourth quarter with the opening kickoff here from Granger. It's fielded by Bershawale, who will take it all the way back to the house. A nice 69-yard run to get the Eagles started to the second quarter. Junction again this time. It's handoff to running back Bershawale, who will find his way in from 19 yards out to extend the lead. Extra point is good. Junction leads 21-0. Third quarter, Granger looking to cut the deficit when senior quarterback Wyatt Roshner would find his man in the leaping catch in the middle of the field, pull it down to make this a one-score game. Junction back on offense when look at this insane run by Brock Bershawale. He just does it all for this Eagles squad. He would be down by at the 15, but my goodness, what an incredible game there from Brock. Junction would tack on that score to go on to win it 42-14. They have a date with the Shiners. Gosh darn, I can't
Comanches.
do it. The Comanchers of Shiny. No, it is the Comanches of Shiner. So there we go. Shiner takes down Iola 34-14. And I'm going to get that right at some point. But Junction Shiner, banger of a game. I mean, let's just go ahead and zoom out to this entire bracket here. There are a lot of games that I think are really, really good. I have been on the Munster bandwagon literally since day one, but it would be hard to find two teams that are playing better than both Junction and Shiner.
Yeah, Region 4 is going to be a lot of fun. That's the game. Another battle of unbeaten. Junction just knocked off an unbeaten in Granger. Can they do it again against Shiner? This is the team that eliminated them last year. Lindsay and Munster in the Kraut Bowl. District rematch there at Stratford and Groover. And then, of course, the Kagan Ash show going up against Bremont. Figures to be a lot of fun. That is Class 2A. I think we got a little bit more left. I want to make sure we take care of this. We've got some six-man football because the regional finals in six-man football were this past week, and they certainly lived up to the hype. It is, you know who always lives up to the hype? These Goods and Services.
I've seen a lot of Texas out on the open road, from up in Amarillo down to San Antonio. No matter where I travel, one thing remains the same. Everybody loves Ford here in the Lone Star State. Ford is the best in Texas.
Whatever it is you wrangle, whatever seeds you sow, no matter what you nurture or what you choose to grow, at Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, we're proud to protect all Texans.
Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, and Baylor Scott & White Health.
It's Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight, wrapping up a regional semifinal weekend for the ages. We are now moving on to Class 1A, six-man football. Let's talk about a regional final. Remember, they are one round ahead of the 11-man friends. And that means we get some regional final rematches like we had with Robert Lee taking on Water Valley in the Region 2 final of 1A Division 1. Let's go to the action there. It's a rematch of a district game back in Week 9. Water Valley strikes first. Quarterback Landon Lacey is going to pitch to his younger brother, Branson Lacey, and he will dance through tacklers and go in for the score. Water Valley goes up early. Then Landon Lacey is going to look to pass. Drop him back, find a wide-open Rhett Dickinson, who will cruise in for the score. Water Valley leads. Robert Lee would mount a comeback. Brenner Sherwood going to take it here. Lays his pass beautifully to Wyatt Bosworth for the touchdown right before the half. Then into the fourth quarter, still a tight game. 3rd and short, and they hand it off to bruising Broston Weiss, who powers his way in for the score. But back comes Robert Lee. Sherwood, again, to his favorite target, Wyatt Bosworth. Here's going to drop it in there. We got another touchdown. Sears won't go away, but they had no answer for Boston Weiss. Off the left side, the bruising Water Valley Wildcat runs them into the state semifinals 50-28 over Robert Lee. And so here are your state semifinals. Water Valley actually will play Rankin. Rankin knocked off Whiteface this week in impressive fashion, 82-38. Union Hill knocked off previously unbeaten Aquila. They will draw Gordon, who knocked off May 71-22. So there it is, your state semifinals. We will punch our first 4 tickets to AT&T Stadium next week.
All right, we go now to 1A Division 2, where we had a matchup between Jeb Dixon and his Oglesby Tigers taking on the Coyotes of Richland Springs. We start off here in the first quarter. Sophomore Caden Webb is going to take the snap, quickly tosses it to Holton Golf, who then passes it to sophomore Evan Williamson on the play there, 7-0. Then Holden Goff shuffles, looking for Evan Williamson. Can't find a man downfield, so he says, you know what? I'll keep it myself. He goes in for the score, and we're all knotted up at 22. Into the third quarter, quick handoff here. After the snap to senior Billy Perry, who will take it in for the score. Now the score is 58-22 when junior Cohen Etheridge will take it all the way up the right sideline. And that would go on to do it, enforcing that 45-point mercy rule. Richland Springs takes down Oglesby 72-22. You take a look at how the bracket shakes out there. That one was in Region 4. Let's go back to Region 1 here for a second. And Klondike, Dalton DeGraff and Reed and Klondike are moving on after a 60-36 win over Miami. You look down in Region 2, it was Benjamin and Jayton. Jayton did go on to win it in a thriller, 70-56. Out of Region 3, it'll be the Greyhounds of Strawn. They have a 46-0 win over Three-Way, and then the aforementioned Richland Springs Coyotes will be moving on to take on Strawn.
Yeah, I think you take a look at this. The Klondike-Jayton game is number 1 versus number 2. Jayton is the reigning state champ, but Klondike has looked like the team that is most likely to knock them out. That region, there's a lot of history between Richland Springs and Strawn, too. Mm-hmm. Long history of those two teams playing in big-time action, including state championship games. So I'm excited about that one. That is 1A Division 2.
So there you go. That'll do it. All the brackets heading into the regional finals for the 11-man classifications and the state semifinals for the 6-man brackets there in 1A. As we round out last week, let's go ahead and look forward to next week in our 4 Built Ford Tough games to watch. Allen and North Crowley, South Oak Cliff and Port Neches Groves, Cuero and Sinton, Llano and Edna, Bremond and Mount Enterprise, and then finally down there in 1A, Klondike and Jayton. What sticks out to you here?
Yeah, I think all these games are box office, right? South Oak Cliff, Port Neches Groves, obviously a ton of history between those two teams. Allen and North Crowley, remember that this is an Allen team that we think could be really capital B back. They get an opportunity at the defending state champs. Cuero and Sinton played an unbelievable game in district play. Can they live up to that hype? Llano and Edna have a ton of history there. Is this the year Llano can finally get over the hump? Bremond trying to slow down the Cake and Ash show. Mount Enterprise has been unbelievable. And then we mentioned it, I think one of the most anticipated games in 1A Division II, Klondike and Jayton. So that is what's going on next week on our Built for Tough games to watch. Let's talk about what to watch this week on Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Noon, myself and Pickle back here at this desk on Monday talking about Monday morning fallout, overreacting the football weekend. Then a special Tuesday edition of the picks. My predictions for all 44 UIL Texas high school football games in the regional finals. Then Wednesday, it's the National Signing Day special. Greg Powers and Mallory Hartley, myself, Carter Yates will take you through all of the big-time action on one of recruiting's biggest days, the early National Signing Day special, noon on Wednesday, right here wherever you are streaming us. Other than that, I don't really have a ton.
Just a quick little hour and a half there.
That's about it.
Not a whole lot of football action.
This is the season finale of Dave Campbell's Texas Football Tonight. We so appreciate you spending your Friday and Saturday evenings with us during the football season. A reminder, TexasFootball.com/playoffs is your home for everything for the 2025 Texas High School Football Playoffs. We will see you in Arlington for the 2025 Texas High School Football State Championship games. Nobody covers the playoffs like Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Reminder, ton of games next week on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Bunch of them. So many, I don't even know what they are yet. For Ashley Pickle and our producer, Vianney Moreno, I'm Greg Tepper. We will see you Monday on Dave Campbell's Texas Football Today.